Howdy folks, if there's one thing you should know about our South Africans is that we just love our biltong. And my family is no different, trust me. We eat biltong, we will eat it for breakfast, lunch and dinner. I make a couple of kilos of biltong and within a couple of days it's gone. Anyway, so for those that don't know, biltong is basically beef jerky. It's dried meat with a specific spice. It's very healthy. It's very, I believe it's very healthy because it's keto and it's awesome to eat. But getting your hands on decent biltong in the US and Canada and I guess in a bunch of other places in the world is really not that easy. Number one, it's hard to find good biltong. Trust me, jerky, it's not biltong. It sucks generally. But anyway, so, and if you do find biltong, it's fairly expensive. You know, we've had quotes anything from $8 for a pound. Well, no, not $8 a pound. It was $8 for a few ounces. It's like, you know, it can get really expensive, especially at the amount of biltong that my family eats. So we figured out how to make our own. We make our own biltong always, wherever we go. We did a 13,000-mile road trip through the US in 2016, and we had a portable biltong maker in the back of the car. So we were making biltong as we were driving from hotel to hotel. So that gives you an idea of our commitment to biltong. It's actually very easy to make your own biltong, and it's actually not that expensive. There's a few things that you will need. Number one, some meat. And we just buy the cheapest meat. You know, it works for biltong, it's great. You don't have to go and buy super soft fillet, that's unnecessary. You're gonna need some biltong spice. We figured out the perfect biltong spice and we use that only on our biltong and it's amazing. You're gonna need some white vinegar to help with the flavoring and a little bit. You're gonna need a dehydrator. And that's what we use. Up till now, for the last few years, we used to have like a little biltong box that I built. So it's where you hang the biltong and you've got air circulating and everything. And recently we bought a dehydrator, and trust me, that was actually a great move. The dehydrator, I make the biltong. I'm going to show you how to do it. We're going to cut the biltong, make it, and 19 hours from now, we're going to start eating it because then it's done. It's just amazing. Anyway, the links to all of those things, all the things that we use will be in the video below. So if you're looking for any of those, just click on the link. It'll take you straight to it and you can purchase from there. All right, let's get to it. Okay, folks, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start cutting our meat. As you can see today, I got, Stil blade pot roast. I don't even know what that is. Normally we get some sirloin. This is $11 a kilo, which is also quite a bit more expensive than what we normally pay. We normally get the sirloin at about $8 a kilo at the little Safeway down the road here. But we generally buy the pot roast. Sometimes you're lucky and you actually get nicely cut steaks already, then there's a lot less cutting to do. Now, we are using a dehydrator, so basically we can't really go with huge thick biltong pieces, you know, those ones that you sit and cut with your hunting knife like we sometimes used to. We're going to go more for the biltong stick variety or the smaller pieces of biltong. So we just start cutting it. Against the grain, with the grain, you know, there's lots of arguments. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter. We just eat biltong and we love it. So I'm just going to cut it into small little pieces like that. Obviously, the thinner you cut it, the easier it is to eat and the quicker it dries. Do that. And I'm going to speed this up because I'm pretty sure there's no need for you to watch me cut this whole piece of meat. So speak to you again in a few seconds. So you will see that some of them are cut a little bit thinner because obviously they dry at different rates. So for the 3 people in the family that love their biltong, that like their biltong a little bit drier, I cut slightly thinner slices. But it's entirely up to you. You know, you'll also see that there's a lot of fat in this meat. I personally like biltong with fat, so I'm not too worried about that. Belinda, on the other hand, doesn't like biltong with fat, so she would be eating the pieces that doesn't have the fat. All right, next step is the vinegar. Okay, folks, so what you will notice is that I've got the meat in a container and I covered it with some white vinegar. Unfortunately, I can't show you how we did it because, you know, Murphy's Law, we had a little bit of a camera error that lost us some footage, but it's not rocket science. You'll be able to figure it out. You pretty much pack the meat in a container, you cover it with some normal pure white household vinegar, nothing special. And the reason we do that is because it helps to kill bacteria. You know, if you go in the US, even if you read your dehydrator's instructions, it says if you want to make jerky, you want to dry any meat, you actually have to cook it first, which is, you know, kind of besides the point, but, you know, ridiculous, because then it's not biltong, then it's cooked meat. Anyway, so we've been doing it this way in South Africa for years. You cover your meat with a bit of vinegar. That kills any of the crazy bacteria that's on the meat, and it also gives it a very nice flavor. Next, we're going to move on and start spicing the biltong. So, this is our favorite spice, Safari Biltong Seasoning Mix Pack. We use this for all our biltong. After lots of trial and error, we realized that this is what we love as a family. Nice, salty biltong with a very good flavor. Oh, here we go. So I like doing it this way, where I coat a plate with a bit of spice and then I start packing the biltong out, because we do like a lot of spice on our biltong. So just do that, and then I coat it with a bit more spice. Now this part is up to you. You know, this is our favorite spice, and we like our biltong very, very salty and with a lot of coriander flavor. If you want it a little bit less, you just add a little bit less of the spice. If you want to add some maple syrup, God knows why, but if you want to add some maple syrup, or you want to give it some other flavoring, you know, people love chili bites. I do like chili bites as well, although the rest of the family doesn't, so we don't make chili bites. This is where you add that extra spice or extra flavoring as well. Okay, and once it's coated in our spices, we just pack it straight onto our drying racks. Now, you are going to have some people, I'm probably going to get some flack, because people would say, yeah, but you got to soak it in the spice for the flavor to like, you know, go into the biltong nicely. You know what? I make a lot of biltong. We like it this way. And I found that the difference between letting it sit and letting it soak in the spices for a day or two, and putting it directly into the dryer, to us, we don't taste it really. Okay, I might speed up the video so you don't have to watch everything. So I'll speak to you again shortly. And there you have it, folks. All the biltong processed. We're going to stick it into the dryer, and then tomorrow this time we're eating biltong. Okay, folks, so there we have our biltong in the dryer. We only used a few racks. These things are actually really awesome. So I need to plug it in first. There we go. Our dryer is switched on. We are going to set the temperature. We don't want it too high. I like to do it just on 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we are going to set the time. The slices we have it, which is a little bit thicker, we probably would need to set it to about 19.5 hours. So this little baby is going to run for 19.5 hours. Let's just close it up and start. And then I'll show you next what it all looks like when we take it out and start eating it. Cheers. Good morning, folks. So our biltong is ready. I got up really early. As you can see, it's still dark outside. Anyway, I got up really early because in my house you got to be early. I wanted to weigh all the biltong so that I can, so that I know how much biltong we get. We've never done that before, and I thought that would be great for this video. Except it seems that I was a little late because there's definitely been some midnightly eating activity going on, and the evidence points that some biltong were consumed during the course of the night. Yeah, so, but it doesn't look like it was too much. So let's weigh what's left, and I'll let you know how much it is. See, 2 pieces gone already. All right, let's go and get these on the scale. There you go, 1.562, and with the missing pieces, I guess probably about 1.6 kilos of biltong. And what was it? About $30 worth of meat. So that gives you an indication of what it costs us to make our own biltong. Look, the biltong is still a little bit wet, I guess, but we like it that way. So let's get a knife and cut a piece. And there you go, fresh biltong. It is the perfect snack, you know. This will probably last us about 2 days, so I'll have to make some more. Well, we just love our biltong. What can I say? Cheers.